right, hi everybody. I don't know about you guys, but I am very impressed by our speakers today. And I think these are amazing stories that many of our people out there need to hear. Don't you think so? Right, now that being said, I know that Daniel said here in his introductory speech that by 10 years of this African Diaspora Entrepreneur Summit, this room will be small, right? But I wanted to take a challenge and share that with you. I want to be more optimistic and say that in less than 4 years of this event, this room should be small. How many of us are entrepreneurs here? Okay, great. And how many of you know about 5 other entrepreneurs? They always say that your network is your net worth, right? So if you are an entrepreneur, definitely you will need to have a network. That's why, networking is important. And we entrepreneurs, we know very, very much that networking is very, very important. So if today we take this challenge and say that in the next, when we'll have the next event, that will be next year, can you commit to bring at least 5 of your entrepreneurs' friends? For me, I will bring about 20. How is that? And I'm sure if everyone brings, because this is interested, and I'm really serious about this. If each of us bring about 4, 5, or 10 entrepreneurs, I'm sure the next year in October when we gather here, this room will be packed. And I think we really need more people in this room to be able to hear these stories. Because when you hear these success stories as an entrepreneur, you feel even more confident. You feel like, wow, if my brothers and sisters out there can succeed, that means I can succeed as well. That's the power, basically, of success stories. All right, so that being said, I'm going to share now about Life Asset, which is a non-profit organization that I work for. It's a pretty young organization that has been in existence for about 5 years now. And as I mentioned earlier, we are based in DC, but we work in the DC metro area. And the work we do is we work with small entrepreneurs, and sometimes we prefer to call them micro-entrepreneurs. These are entrepreneurs that are at the first stage of their business's life cycle. And as you know, this is the stage where you really don't have a track record. And it's very difficult for banks in the mainstream financial, in the financial mainstream to trust you. So getting funding for your business is very difficult at this stage. And there are many entrepreneurs out there who do not qualify to get funding from the mainstream banks and other institutions, simply because they don't have a track record, and in many cases they don't have any collateral, and they are looking for a small amount of money. And most of the banks and other institutions, they are inclined to high-value transactions in hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars. But there are some entrepreneurs out there who just need a few $1,000s to be able to get started. But nobody trusts them, and the only option that they have is to try to get funding from some family members, friends, and maybe some fools out there. But the problem with this way of getting funding is that when your family member gives you money, even if you pay them back, they will not report those payments to the credit bureaus or to the Dun and Bradstreet. So you will not be able to establish your credit. So you will still be in that position where you won't be able, even in the future, to get funding from the mainstream financial institution. So this is the reason that Life Asset exists, to work with entrepreneurs at their very early stage, provide them the opportunity to get a loan from our organization that will be reported to the credit bureau so that we can kind of help the entrepreneurs establish their credit history. And the way we do it, we do not require entrepreneurs to have a credit score. We have many immigrants among the people that we work with. And some of them just came in, they have no idea what credit score is. We do not require you to have a collateral, because we know that if we have to require that, then many entrepreneurs will not qualify for our program as well. And we do not require you to apply for a big amount of money. Actually, if we are working, it's because we are working with those who are looking for a small amount of money. And we consider ourselves basically as a stepping stone. We work with entrepreneurs. We prepare them to be able to organize their businesses in a way that a couple of years down the line, we can then refer them to other institutions that are in the space of the mainstream financial industry. So the way we do it, we use the Grameen Bank model. Some of you might have heard about the Grameen Bank model. This is not something that we created. This is a model that was created over 30 years ago in Bangladesh by a certain Mohammed Yunus, who actually got a Nobel Peace Prize in 2006 for this particular model. And the way it works is that entrepreneurs are required to form or to join what we call a support group with other entrepreneurs. And that's the first requirement. When you come to Life Asset, we kind of share with you, we try to hear your story, to know your business, and we tell you about what we do. The first requirement is for you to form a group, find at least 2 other people so that you can start a group together. And this support group or accountability group mission is to work together as a group. And as you know this, entrepreneurs at this stage, they have very limited resources. However, you need money to be able to maybe build your website for your marketing, but you don't have that money. So we encourage entrepreneurs in this support group to actually support each other and make sure that everyone is doing what they're supposed to do for their business. Keep each other accountable. So each group of up to 5 entrepreneurs is part of what we call a center. And is within these centers, actually I will back up a little bit. So the center is a federation of up to 8 small groups. So 8 small groups, that is up to 40 entrepreneurs. And it is within these centers that we organize all the trainings that we have, because we understand that entrepreneurs not only need money, but they also need technical assistance, and we are providing that technical assistance. And of course, networking opportunities as well. And all this training and the networking event, we organize them within these different centers. Now, once you are part of that support group or accountability group, you will each individually get a loan. It's not a group loan, it's an individual loan. But the idea is that from Life Asset perspective, is that you will keep each other accountable and make sure that everyone is paying their loan on time. And if one entrepreneur in the group is in default, that will somehow affect everyone in the group. Now, this is how it goes. We start with a small amount of money. You get a small loan. After you pay that loan back, then you can apply for the second loan, which will be eventually bigger than the first. So it's like you are graduating to the next level. So when you will come for the second loan, we will check with your peer, member of the group, to make sure that they are also, in good standing with their payment. If they are not in good standing, if one of your group members in default, then we'll be like, okay, you know what? You need to check with that particular group member. So in all the trainings that we organize, we make sure that, entrepreneurs won't stay with Life Asset forever, because you start small, but with the dream of becoming big, right? And we want you to grow to get to the point where you need $50,000, you need $100,000, so we can refer you to all these other organizations where you can get that amount of money that you need for your business. As of today, we have a network of over 600 entrepreneurs in the DC metro area. And I would say a quarter, I mean maybe a third actually, a third of those entrepreneurs are from the African diaspora. And if I'm willing to take the challenge of bringing people here and making sure that this room is packed next year, is because I know that I will tap into that network and make sure that many of those entrepreneurs that I work with show up in this event, because I believe that they need it. As I said, I believe these stories need to be heard by as many entrepreneurs as possible. They need to hear these success stories. So I really thank you for your time, and I hope you are willing to take this challenge with me, and I hope that each one of you will bring at least 5 entrepreneurs next time that we convene at this place. How is that? All right, thank you very much.